I've been working on my thing with recycled materials, and I wanted to talk about like the whole point of it, or like was thinking how when you make something out of what's considered trash, there is this pressure to show people that it's actually not trash and it actually is valuable. So there's kind of resistance to what is, and trying to turning one thing into opposite, saying that black things are white things are black, and stuff like that. And there's this idea that we're polluting the earth, but it kind of completely erases the fact that everything we have is what earth gave us. There's nothing on the planet, I mean, besides a few maybe asteroids or something, that was not or is not being given to us by our planet. So this idea of we are putting something into the nature, it's like based in this human supremacy idea that we rule the world or something, that we are above the nature, and somehow we are creating something new, something completely out of this world. But no, we're just another species that has certain byproducts as a result of their life on Earth. And this idea of just, when I think like, I see like some trash, I don't know, in the ocean, whatever, it's everywhere. And I'm like, but it's a resource, right? And how do I show people that it is a resource? How, like through my work, through my art and my ideas, how can I turn this around? But in that case, I am turning that idea within the realm that we assume that is something, first of all, external to nature, and second of all, that we have created it. So I feel like to go back to I'm not talking about going back in tune with nature and everything, because we are nature, right? We just have certain problems there, and we know there are problems because we feel bad through that happening, like we're literally destroying our own lives, we're destroying different plant species and everything, and the only thing why we're like worried about it is because A, we can get destroyed through that, and B, we feel guilty for destroying other species. No other reason than that. So just trying to be, in tune with the nature that we are, like the nature within us, and understanding that you are a force of nature, right? Even though humans are super like special in the way that we waste things, we kill when they don't have to, and all of that. But again, those are like fairy tale stories we keep telling ourselves to make ourselves feel better or more empowered than we are. And why we are doing that? Because we inherently feel super, super weak. We feel completely disempowered by nature because we separate from it. Because we think, okay, I'm this tiny little human, and nature is like all these hurricanes, earthquakes, famine, all of these things, that everything is ruled by forces that are out of our control. So we're just trying to grasp the smallest bits of it where we can pretend we have it, to the point where we rather would destroy our own environment to feel this empowerment in the face of nature. But why all of this is happening is just because we completely forgot that we are nature. But coming back to recyclables and things, so I'm constantly thinking like, how do I make a piece or like whatever, just some kind of research or project that would make it help other people see, quote unquote, waste the same way I do, because everything, there's a saying like everything that's waste is just, what? I forgot. Garbage is wasted materials or something like that. But I know that there are people who understand that, but we need kind of, through our guilt, we want to feel less guilty, so we try to do something about it. First of all, I think that would be super helpful to just sit in the sense of guilt. How we're feeling that our existence is the threat to the planet. How deeply, deeply this pain sits inside of us. That I am the cause of other people's suffering. I am the cause of other species suffering. I am the cause of destruction of the earth. And it's this same pattern that on a much smaller scale we can see in our human relationships when we get this trauma in childhood, where parents would always blame us for things or say this is wrong, that was wrong, or for whatever reason they're not allowing us to just be ourselves and do what our intuition tells us to. We make an assumption from that we're the cause of everything. Like we're the cause of my parents getting divorced, the cause of bad bullying in school, like bad grades, anything bad that happens to us we use to as a proof to enhance our identity of at the same time a victim and a villain. And that's how we stay in this victim identity, by holding on to this also villain idea of ourselves, that we are the worst, we're the devil. And this is such deep pain. And that's why we don't look at it so much, because it's super painful to look at it. This pain, it's already within you. What you're doing to distract yourself from it is your own choice. But at some point, I'm not saying everybody will do that, right? It's everybody's path. They're doing whatever they want. But people who are encouraged by like the idea of becoming closer to themselves more and more, connecting to their true self. People who think or feel they have energy to spare, or who prioritize that path. They don't have a choice but at some point to look at it. To look at how, yes, we have all these constructs, or everything you say about other people is what you think about yourself, and bloody, like Byron Katie teaches you, to get out of your ego, or like around of your ego, and discover what your actual truth about yourself that you're holding. But it's like such a tiny fraction, because here, yes, through that process, of course, like everybody has different paths and different ways of doing that. But when we look at it just as our brain, it's much bigger than that. Because when we think, oh, this is our brain, then again, we have to separate the brain from everything else. We have to separate the brain as a separate part of our body. We have to separate it from the heart, from every other cell of your body. We have to separate it from like the collective as a whole, from the universe, from the planet, again. But it's not separate, no matter how much we want to think about it, I've noticed a lot of people that I know around me right now are getting into astrology, and they like, for the first time, it's really interesting to look at them, like discovering all those things and being so excited. Oh my God, how do they know that? How it's possible. It's that glimpse, like we can treat it as magic, we can see it as magic, we can see it as something that is so much bigger and that's so exciting. And again, we see it as it's not part of us. But farther along that journey, farther into that discovery, the more you learn about nature, about all the forces, about people around you, about most importantly the present moment, you can find that all this magic is you. All this magic is inside of you, it's within you, and you have complete and utter control over it. And it's such a, yes, it is a sense of empowerment, right? That comes with it. But also, it's, how can I describe the feeling? It's like maybe if, when before you felt like kind of heavy, somebody would feel like a rock, like a metal or something, like a big piece of wood, or maybe like a bread that's like really wet bread that's soaked up a lot of water. So it's like super heavy, but it cannot do anything because if it moves, it crumbles. But as you get closer to yourself, to what you really are, to your true nature, what happens is you feel like a carbon, which you are, but like the essence of the, well, I don't know how they call it exactly, but like they make bicycle parts or like car parts out of the carbon, that you're super light and super strong. You get lighter and stronger by day, and the strength, it doesn't feel like you're getting guarded more. It's not you putting up more of this armor around yourself. It's you realizing that your heart can only be worn outside of you. Like it cannot exist inside of you because it already doesn't, because it's already connected to everything. And when you realize that by putting protection around your heart, you just basically stabbing your heart, because it is everything and everywhere. So you cannot put any limits around it. You can only put things like into your heart and stab it, through your swords. I completely went away from the topic. I mean, it's still within the topic and I enjoy saying all these things and like thinking about them, but I was talking about the waste. Maybe I should come back next time when I have more of an idea, or it's like getting a bit long. So let me know if you enjoyed looking at it, this perspective. I'm gonna go back to work and I'm gonna be back to say more things when they get here. I can continue forever, I know, but I just feel like I want to work right now. Okay, bye.